So it is Valentine's Day, and I'm getting ready to spend time with my boos. Yes, I did say with my boos, because I have multiple boos on Valentine's Day. One is about 13, and the other boo is about close to 8. He'll be 8 soon. How y'all doing? I hope you guys are having a great Valentine's Day. I know I am. I am doing the thing I love to do the most, which is cooking for my kids. And we're going to spend Valentine's Day together, just hanging out at the house. I actually was going to take them out to eat. But then I worried about the points. Being on Weight Watchers, I just really did not want to mess up my points. So I thought, we've got plenty of food at home, plenty of food in the fridge and the freezer. We can come up with something that's going to be really good. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just cooking at home. I don't know what you're doing, but I hope you're having a good Valentine's Day. So let me tell you, right, being single, it's you know, Valentine's Day sometimes makes you feel some type of way. I know it does for me. Maybe it doesn't for anybody else. And you look at it. I mean, I'm better now than I used to be. I don't envy anybody and the things that they have, because I'm very thankful for what the Lord does for me. And so I was in one of my classes earlier, and one of my students was late. And she's been late every day since we started having school. And I'm just giving her what for. I'm like, why are you late? And she's like, why are you gonna, you talking about me and you're gonna write me up? And I said, well, I have to. You've been late. And she's like, well, whatever. You know, she's one of my seniors. We have a really good relationship, so it wasn't a bad thing. We were just going back and forth with her being late, because she does not have a first period class. She has me second period. So she should be able to get to school on time. And she reaches into her bag. She's like, here I am. I brought you a Valentine's Day present, and you're going to write me up for tardies. I said, well, honey, I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. You got to get to school on time. So one of my students did give me a Valentine's. It was really cute. I appreciated her for thinking of me. She's a real sweet girl. So I really did appreciate her thinking of me. And I was sitting at my desk close to the end of the day. And you know how the Lord will drop things in your spirit. I mean, the Lord drops stuff in my spirit quite a bit. And I have to be mindful of, you know, what he's trying to tell me. And so I just felt like I needed to go to my post office box. Now, I rarely go there, because they're supposed to send me a text message when I get something in my box. Well, I haven't gotten anything to go check my mailbox, but I just felt like in my spirit, like, you really need to go and check that box today. So I went a different way home, stopped by the post office box, and can I tell you guys, because I kept thinking, well, maybe they don't send reminders if you just have a letter or something, you know, just regular mail. I know they will if you have a package, but maybe just mail they don't. So anyway, I ended up going by there today, and I opened up the box. And inside of the box, there is an envelope and a key. So I go, hold on, the puppy is chewing on something in the pantry. Let's investigate. What are you doing? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Come. Good girl. Good girl. I love you. I love you. I love you. You're my Valentine's, too. Your mama's Valentine. I love you. So I take the envelope, and then I take the key, and I go around to the number, and I open up the larger storage box, and there's a box in there from Amazon Prime. And I'm looking and looking, so I go over to, you know, the little place where they have, where you can open up packages, and I open up the package because I really want to see what this is, because I wasn't expecting anything. And I open up the package, and there is this beautiful blue and silver polka dotted bag. And on the tag it says, I hope you're still getting birthday gifts. I just wanted to share this gift with you. And I open it up, And there's this miniature food scale. It was so cute. I'm going to have to find that so I can show you that. Maybe I'll find Sister and she'll be able to tell me where it is. Anyway, let me tell you what I'm cooking. I saw on Shelly's Home Life where this light Parmesan Alfredo or classical Alfredo sauce, I bought a different one from Walmart, was only like 2 or 3 points for a whole cup. And so I actually am doing a pasta dish for my kids tonight. So I have in the saute pan, I've got a whole onion and I've got a whole green bell pepper, and they are sauteing. To this, I'm going to add, and I just did black pepper, salt, onion powder, garlic powder. I'm going to add in two long links. This is Eckrich skinless turkey sausage, and I think for 2 ounces of this on Weight Watchers, it is about between 2 and 4 points. It's somewhere like that. It's reasonable. It wasn't bad at all. And then I have a little over 3 ounces of the Italian herb and tomato chicken breast strips left. So this is 1 point, or just a little over 1 point. So I'm going to add those into my pan. I have a pot of water boiling because I'm going to do probably about 2 or 3 cups of just pasta noodles to boil, to come up to a boil. And then I'm going to do a dessert. That's probably my favorite part of this whole meal is the dessert. Alright, so that's what I got going on in this pot. One of my lovelies is sick, so it's only going to be me and Sister eating dinner tonight because Jack is really not feeling well. So he is out for the count right now on the couch. He just started feeling real bad when we were coming home. Sister needed to grab a few things at Walmart, and I had to go to the bank. So anyway, back to the post office box. You will have had to be following me for any length of time to understand spinach. I probably put spinach in almost everything I cook, probably close to almost everything. And the reason is, it's low cal, it's low cost points, it's no cost points. And so I can have as much spinach as I like, and I try to put it in as much things as I can because I use it as a filler, and it doesn't cost me any points. So I opened up the box, and there was that pretty blue polka dotted bag with the food scale in it. And then I opened up the card, and the card said, you know, wishing you a happy birthday and all these other things. And there was a sweet little note inside that just, you know, really talked about how much they appreciated me and, you know, my faith in the Lord. And here's the reality of my life. I live my life based on what I believe the Lord wants me to live my life on. His love, His mercy, His grace. That's just how I live. And I don't just quote scriptures to have something to do or to think that's going to make people, you know, follow me. Most people don't want to hear me quote scriptures, but that's how I know. That's how I know to live. You know, my daughter will tell you, my oldest daughter, she'll call me and she'll say, well, Mom, I want to do X, Y, and Z. What do you think about that? And I always say to her, well, what does the word say? You know, go to the word, find the answer, and then make a decision based on that word. So it was really, really sweet. And I'm standing in the post office almost in tears at the fact that this lovely person sent me this beautiful little note and a gift. And I just felt like, oh my God. But I asked the Lord when I first, and I hope I don't cry. So if I do, y'all, it's okay though. I told the Lord when I first wanted to start YouTube probably a year and a half ago, and I was just so clueless as to what I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to start, and I had 18 subscribers for like a year and a half. It was horrible. This is just a mixture of all the extra pastas we had. So there's some penne, there's some elbows, there's some corkscrews in here. That's 3 cups of pasta. And but I told the Lord, I said, God, if you give me anything, just give me a voice to tell people what you've done in my life. And I remember being that mom who couldn't decide if I was going to buy groceries or if I was going to pay the bills or whatever. And God just so showed up in my life. And I just couldn't imagine a life without the Lord. And that is the true testimony. That's so true for me. I could not imagine life without God in it. And so to that end, that's just how I live my life. So I was just so honored that that individual took time, sent that note, and wished me a happy birthday. I'm going to send her an email. She did give me her email address, and I'm going to send her an email thanking her. You know, I put this on the end of all of my videos now. You know, my kids and I realize, they probably don't realize, I do, that people, we have choices in this life of who we want to spend time with. There is no guarantee that anybody's going to want to spend time with me. But because they choose to visit our channel and subscribe and watch our videos, I so appreciate them. And so anyway, at the end of the note, she just put in a PS. She said, every time I look at spinach, I think of you, because I'm a spinach girl. And I was looking in my fridge for Sunday night. I don't have any, but if I had something, it would be somewhere up in this here. So in this pan, I have 1 onion, 1 green bell pepper. I have 2 Eckrich skinless turkey sausage, and I have the rest of the Italian herb and tomato chicken strips. So about less than 4 ounces. So of course the whole chicken is 1 smart point. The sausage for 2 ounces is about 3 to 4 smart points, and the veggies are 0 smart points. So as my pasta comes up to a boil, I'm just going to add in my sauce. I have some bread to cook. This is garlic bread, Pepperidge Farm garlic bread. I pulled this out of the freezer from outside. So 2.5 inches is 7 smart points. So I'm not real sure if I'm eating this right now. I'm not sure if I'm eating this. I don't know. I do have about 11 points left for the day, but I just don't know. And I'm going to make a dessert. I almost didn't make this because the points, but I put this in Recipe Builder. And for 24 cupcakes, it's 1 smart point a piece. So I'm doing a spice cake. It's just a regular Dunkin' Hines spice cake. I'm going to mash 2 bananas, and I'm going to add in 12 ounces of 100% pumpkin puree. And I'm going to put it in these love cups that I got from my kids that say Valentine's love. And that's going to be our sweet little treat. So 3 simple ingredients. And you don't even have to do the bananas. We just had ripe bananas that I needed to use. So that's the only reason why I'm using them. So while everything else is cooking here, I'm going to just get this sweet treat going. And I'm trying to wait for my pasta to boil. It really won't be long before we're eating. But my bananas are ripe, so I'm just going to smash, smash, smash. And this is 2 bananas. Use as much as you like or as your family can stand of bananas. We keep bananas quite often in the house because they are 0 smart points, and my son likes them and my daughter likes them. She doesn't like apples, but I do keep apples in the house as well. And so this is just 12 ounces of the pumpkin puree. I found these a couple weeks ago at Dollar General. They were getting rid of all their Christmas items or holiday items, and they had this for 25 cents a can. So I just picked up a couple. I know a friend of mine really likes the pumpkin puree, and I just picked up a couple of those. Not that I had any intentions of using them. I was actually going to give them away to that specific friend. What's wrong, love? Be careful. Alright, so my sausage and my chicken look really good. I am going to add in my Classico. This is Ragu Cheese Creations Light Parmesan Alfredo. It's 50% less fat and 33% fewer calories. So it's only about a half a jar of that because I used last night. Let me tell y'all what I made last night, right? So I had 3 chicken breasts, and I took those 3 chicken breasts and I put them in the crock pot with a jar of just regular mild salsa. And I just put them on low. We cooked them for about 6 hours. And right at the end, right as they were done cooking, I threw in a half a cup of this Classico pasta sauce. And we had, I called it classic Alfredo taco chicken or something like that. Classic Alfredo chicken or something like that. But just a half a cup of this right at the end of the cooking process. Okay, so I've got my pumpkin going. I've got my bananas going. And then I have another jar of sauce over there, babe, that I got from Walmart. And you could have used anything. You know, I just had that sauce and I was trying to use it with that chicken because I didn't want to make it too heavy. Just because, again, I'm worried about my points. And I think this is the one that Shelly's Home Life uses. This is the Classico Light Asiago Romano Alfredo sauce. So I'm just going to add the rest of this. Okay, this is nice and creamy. That's awesome. It's looking really good. So we're done. Dinner pretty much is done. I just have to put my bread on. But I want everything to kind of go in the oven at the same time. I'll post pictures of the bread later, of the muffins later. But everything else is pretty much done. So this is one spice cake, 12 ounces of the pure pumpkin puree, not the pumpkin pie mix, not that, the pure pumpkin puree, and then 2 ripe bananas. 350 degrees is what I have my oven on. Okay, this makes a very thick batter. It makes a fairly thick batter. So I'm going to sit those over to the side. And now I'm ready to just fill up my cupcake tins, which I have here. Stir my pasta, which is not quite done, but almost. Bring me the stool too, sister, if you can. Oh, and I made, for the very first time last night, I made spaghetti squash. And it was so good. A friend of mine told me to, he told me to poke holes in it, microwave it for 10 minutes. And then he said, put it in the oven for the next 10 minutes. And it came out so good. It scraped out real well. And the kids, they were like, Mom, what's that? I said, spaghetti. He's like, are you sure, Mom? Absolutely sure. And it was so good. I mean, we really enjoyed that treat. And I had that with the taco chicken. So this dough is pretty solid. It's not like a loose dough. It's a little bit tacky. Probably more than tacky. It's not quite as tacky as bread dough. And the reason I sprayed my spoons is it makes your batter fall off of your spoons easier. If you have an ice cream scoop, use that. I don't. I'm just using what I have. And I'm okay with that. I mean, it's no problem. So I'm doing these about 3/4 of the way. Maybe about, yeah, probably about 3/4. I do want to get 24. There's 12 cupcake liners. You could add in chocolate chips if you like. You could add in any type of a berry if you like. Like I would normally add in cranberries. But because I'm not choosing to get the points, so I'm just keeping this extremely, extremely simple. And I should be able to get 24 muffins out of this. I put it in Recipe Builder. I'm using iTrackBites to track my points. So I put it in the Recipe Builder and it gave me 1 smart point per muffin. And I'm going to go with that. It smells like pumpkin. And I'm not normally a pumpkin person. I love sweet potato. But I can eat it in something. And then I'm not really a squash girl. But the spaghetti squash was really good. So I'm leaving that there. This is going into a 350 degree oven. And then I'm going to finish my pasta. And that's going to cook for, we'll put it on 18 minutes. It says between 17 and 20 minutes, so I'm going to go for 18 minutes. Stirring the pasta, turning that off. And I'm just going to put my bread on the top. And this is going to cook for This says 8 to 9 minutes at 400 degrees. So I'll probably put it at 12. I'll put it at 12 since I'm only at 350 degrees. Look at this pretty little package. And it came, it was in my post office box. It says, hope you're still receiving birthday gifts. I pray that God continues to bless you in all the things. You in all things, for you are truly a blessing to me. Smooches. Isn't that sweet? I mean, it really warms my heart that people think of me. And I never celebrate my birthday. I never, ever, ever, never celebrate my birthday. And it's not because I feel sad or nothing. We just never did grow up celebrating birthdays. It's just not something we did. But, so here is what that is. It's a mini food scale. And I was so excited to see that. And, you know, nobody has to send me anything. I'm just happy to share my life with people. I'm happy to share the word of God with people, because that's what I ask God for. You know, I ask God to give me a platform to make his name great. And some people get very confused with that being pulpit ministry. Now, if you want me to come preach, I sure will. I'll preach heaven down. But if my everyday life is just enough to show people how good God is, then that's just, you know, that's the reason I do this. And I love to cook. It's fun for me. My kids are like, Mom, you should open up a restaurant. That would totally just mess it up for my life. I just don't even feel like that wouldn't even work, because it would feel like work to me, and I don't want to do anything that feels like work. This is fun. I enjoy it. The kids love it. Jackson actually loves to cook, and sister's a fairly good cook as well. She helps out quite a bit when I'm in a pinch. Now, Shamika's not so much a cook. She will not starve, and Trandon will not starve either. That's all I'm saying. So, anywho, in this pan, and you see me doing a transfer. What I am doing now is I'm just transferring my pasta out of my pasta pot into the sauteed onions, peppers, just the seasonings, garlic, onion powder. I've got 2 of the Eckrich skinless sausage that are turkey sausage in here, and then I have the remainder of the Italian herb and tomato chicken strips. And so I also added in the classic Parmesan and Asiago and Romano cheese sauce. And I have in the oven, I've got the pumpkin spice muffins, pumpkin spice banana muffins, and then I also have the garlic bread. So all in all, I'm thinking I'm going to count probably 5 points for a cup, maybe a few more points. And then I'm still not sure about that, just not so sure about that garlic bread, but the kids do love it. And I have weekly points. So if I go over on points, I do have my 42 weekly points that I have not used at all. And I think I probably have just a little bit more pasta than I need. So I'm just going to put this in a bowl. I'm going to put the extra pasta in a bowl. And we'll keep it because the kids can have it later. So I'm going to get this pasta out, and then I'm going to plate for you. And that's going to be the end of the end. And we're going to clean up our kitchen. I will post a picture later of the pumpkin muffins. And this was just a conglomeration of pastas that I had in different boxes. I've been trying to organize my kitchen a little bit more. There went a pasta right across the floor, but no dog. We don't know where the puppy went, because normally she would have just swooped on in and got her reward, like she was going to glory or something. Okay, so to the sink with, and I'm just going to add in, I had a little bit left of the spaghetti squash and the chicken taco Alfredo, and so I'm just going to add that in, because my kids don't care about adding it in. And it's all going to turn out good, and we're going to eat it all. There it is. And that spaghetti squash was just it was so good. So I'm glad my friend Jason, he's a chef, and he told me how to do it. Because I'm not a squash person. I don't really like squash for any reason. And so because that chicken Alfredo, taco Alfredo, from last night was a red sauce. Of course, when you do a red and a white, it gives you a blush. And sometimes I just like to make it, just be creative. This is my creative space. It's my kitchen. And I love it. So let me just put up my pasta. And then I will plate. Put a top on this and get this put up. I do like to come through and clean out my kitchen as much as I possibly can, because that way when it's time to eat, there's not a lot left to do. My kids are tired, I'm tired. Normally we have taekwondo tonight, but since it is the day of love, the dojo closed and just opened it up for parents, you know, if parents wanted to do something like a parents' night out. But of course, I wasn't going out, so my kids we just stayed home and decided to do something together. We were okay with that. So there's my garbage bag. Move my little present out of the way. And here's a plate. Remember, I'm doing the small plates for Mama. Let's see. I probably have 3 more minutes or so on the garlic bread, but y'all seen garlic bread before. It's no big deal. It is getting nice and done. And then the muffins look good as well. So here's what I would do. I would take my measure cup, because I am measuring almost everything these days. I'm going to take my measure cup that I just used for the pasta. And I'm going to measure out 1 cup. That piece of chicken is just so big. That looks like a large cup, but there's a piece of chicken laying crossways in there. That's kind of crazy. So, that's what I would have as a meal for myself. And then, of course, I would fix for the children as well. So, I'm going to count that probably about 6 or 7 points, maybe closer to 7 points because of the white sauce. But the turkey was 2 ounces. I'm sure I don't have 2 ounces in there. And then the chicken, for all that I added, was only 1 point. I added in 3.6 ounces. So all of that was equaling to 1 point. And so I only have 1 piece of chicken in here. But anyway, that's our meal. That's what we're having tonight. We hope you're having a good night where you are. We hope you've cooked your meal of love or your dinner of love. And we send love to you from our kitchen to your kitchen. And we'll see you next time we cook. Bye.